My gosh, Oshinoko episode 2, that OP and ED is absolutely pure cinema. My gosh. Like the ED, yes, it's mostly around the dance routine, all that kind of stuff. Looked absolutely beautifully portrayed. You have a little bit of a hint there of the idea of Aqua kind of stepping away from his past, leaving Ruby behind, all that kind of stuff was really great, but God damn it, OP. The OP was so good. Like, I'm very, very tempted to do an entire, like, analysis of that OP. It's that beautiful. It's that stunning. And it has that much, like, it's trying to say in there. And I'm not really sure if I do want to do one because, yeah, I don't know if I want to look too much into a lot of this stuff. I mean, they have, like, a lot of emphasis in that one of Aqua not just stepping away from his past, not just stepping away from the whole situation with Ai and her death, more so the idea of him actively trying to ignore it. That's the key thing there. Like, having that little portrayal of Ai coming down and, grabbing his face, and then she disappears and he looks away. Again, it's like he's trying to not pay attention to it, like ignoring it. And then having the whole segment where he's cutting the threads from the eyes, all the dolls and everything. It's really like him just trying to get rid of it, trying to step away from it, disconnect from Ai entirely. Again, it goes back to like sort of what they've been portraying so far in this idea that Aqua has accepted this truth, but deep down, it's indicating that he's not really fully dedicated to it. Like he's lying to himself. At some point, if I remember correctly, Akane even emphasized that he's lying to himself. He's accepting this lie. He knows this isn't true. Should I say something, or should I just allow him to be able to finally walk away from this? Maybe he wants to walk away from this. That OP literally says that I don't want to acknowledge this. No, I don't want to acknowledge you anymore. It's super like, ugh. But no, everything else around it's like super fantastic. All the Kana shots, the shot where she has I don't know if it's giving the idea of her strangling herself. Again, this is where I don't really want to look into this too much. I don't want to read too much into this OP, but like that whole pulling the scarf and then the heart on the back, I'm like, oh, please don't. Please do not do this, because we're already like emphasizing how much she's absolutely crushed right now, and I don't want to even think about the idea they would do something like that. Please don't. Please don't. It's super upsetting around her. The whole shot where she's inside that little, display case and she's crying like she's just this doll that's been left behind the shop. It's, again, symbolisms that I can read into more and more. The Memcho, like that shot of her throwing all the costumes up in there was absolutely gorgeous. Just the shot of them coming onto that roof and doing the different poses. Akane like walking past and just tossing all the makeup down, kind of emphasizing this idea that she's not really happy where she's at, being this actress and being sort of dolled up and everything. I can go on and on. All the shots of Ruby and how much in pain she is. I'm doing my analysis right now. I said I wasn't going to do it. I might do a full-on breakthrough and just kind of go through it step by step. But for now, it's just absolutely beautiful. The song's fantastic. The voicing in it, just the energy that she has in her voice that just kicks out there. It's so good. Anyways, the episode itself. 3 minutes into this recording. The episode itself. My gosh, have you ever seen a scenario where a train is coming at you, it's gonna crash right into you and derail, but you're just watching it? That is entirety of this episode. It feels like Ruby, through trying to sort of, assist this AD, trying to get him pushed up and give him confidence and help him, through his struggles. It's almost like she's pushing him so much that I think that and it's his director's fault. Let's be perfectly honest. Not Ruby's fault, but it's mostly the director. But she's sort of secondhand causing him to crash. And the idea that she's helping him through the scenario, which is something that probably should have early on been established. We can't do this. Like, sorry, director, let's early on say this isn't working out. It should have been stopped back there when he wasn't getting responses. But she's sort of helping him continue it. And it's just continuously getting worse and worse as it goes on. And I think the worst part about this entire situation is Minami. The whole segment with Minami, I'm like, this is flagged. They're flagging this is not going to turn out good. I don't really know like 100% about like cosplay culture in Japan specifically. I do know they're very passionate about it. Let's be damn sure. I mean, every single culture with cosplay, no matter where you're at, there's a passionate group. But I think specifically with her, it's going to be really bad because of the fact that she's not a cosplayer. And if she's on some big TV show and it gets a lot of attention, they might actually go against her. This might actually turn out to be very scarring for her entire reputation, because people can come down on her on the idea that she's not actually a cosplayer. She's acting like a cosplayer. She is just a grab your model. Get her off the screen. Who is this person acting like a cosplayer? It could turn out really badly. And even her herself sort of got into the idea of, yes, more of the culture around it, and specifically like the restrictions and whatnot, all the different rules that you have to follow because they're going to be going to this convention. But I think it's going to be more on the other side where she sort of hinted at the idea of sort of the culture in there. And the fact that people might be really upset of her being on there and lying that she's a cosplayer. But we'll see. But let's go through the episode proper. I'm already like 6 minutes into this. Let's just dive into it, going scene by scene, so I don't miss anything like I typically do. But yes, opening up the episode with Ichigo and Ruby. Ruby confronting Ichigo, telling him that he's not going to get away. He's like, leave me alone. She comes up beside him. You're not getting away. I know that you know somebody. You know who Dad is, right? Tell me who Dad is. If I knew who he was, I'd kill him myself. So even Ichigo himself knows. Even Ichigo. Now, granted, Ruby could have informed him a little bit there, but I think in the end, he probably already knew. He just didn't tell them. But at least here again, it's confirming that he's kind of aware as much as Ruby and Aqua is about the situation. Whether or not he's truthful in the idea that he doesn't know who the father is, it's going to look really bad if we find out later on that he actually does know. I'm probably thinking he genuinely doesn't know. He may know potentially, but not 100% sure, and thus he doesn't want Ruby to kind of fly off the handle. But he may have an idea of who it might be, just doesn't want to jump to conclusions. But yeah, she's like, okay, then tell me everybody that she was connected with. I need all their contact information. I'm not going to do that. You're going to cause them problems, and then guess who's going to have to deal with it? Yeah, Miyako's going to have to deal with it, because they're going to come to her, and these are some big shots, a lot of big shots now. Don't want that. So she's like, okay, well then introduce me once I get big. So help me get big. I love that. Okay, I promise. Now get me big. Get me big. I love this little bit right here because she says that she landed the deal. Like, yeah, I took what you gave me and I ran with it and I got the job. And he gets all excited. It sucks right here because this guy's been so disconnected from what they're doing. He's walked away from it. But this brief moment where Ruby's talking about how she landed the role, he's already going into his mode again. Oh, that's great. That's going to work really well because now that you got that position, and he stops himself. Like he's getting back into it. Like he's going back to producer-san. He wants to get back into it so bad. He's left it behind. It kind of hurt that whole moment there. But yeah, then giving her pointers about the idea of not going with what she thinks that she should do, but something different. Instead of going with the idea of being clever and cute and considerate, go for the dumb, disrespectful, and defiant route. Lean into that. Completely lean into it. When you do their antidotes at the beginning of it, write some stupid stuff in there. Because yeah, they'll typically have like this little card they can write some stuff about them, and then they'll take that to the writers, and the writers will then bring it to the show itself. So she probably wrote something dumb in there about the soap or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, it seems like you made some sort of mistake recently. There it is. And yeah, my friend was saying that she was getting into making soap, and so I decided to make some too. So I took some hand soap, and I decided to boil the water out of it, because it's essentially soap, right? I nearly set fire to the house. Aqua's like, that was detergent that you thought was... You used detergent because you thought it was oil. I'm like, I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse. Like he says that she like, you know, took this lie and made it worse or whatever, embellished or whatever. But I think the other one was worse. That was super dorky. Did she just do the whole like, no, I'm not stupid. What do you think, brother? Am I really stupid? Yeah, I'm always ashamed that we have the same genes. It was dorky. But yeah, once again, similar to last episode, Aqua picking up on somebody's coaching this girl. And even later on when she's asking about, you know, directors and 80s and all that kind of stuff, and he's kind of giving this whole explanation of the entire, like, assembly line of production, all these different groups, the producers and whatnot that have all these different, you know, offices and whatnot and teams under them that sort of help with different things because one single studio can't handle it. That's sort of a thing in anime as well. Like, whenever you have the producers up here and the production committee, they're dealing with a lot of different companies, not just the studio that's doing the work. There's going to be other groups they're dealing with, you know, bringing in people for music, all that kind of stuff. The producers are actually having to deal with all this other stuff. So it's kind of similar here with the variety show. They have all these different teams that are handling different things to make this show happen. But anyways, going back. Yeah, even with her having some sort of interest in this whole process, he's like, wow, what's got you suddenly interested? Again, he's picking up on something's changed in Ruby. she's trying to play it off as, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to be professional now. Isn't that a good thing? Aren't you happy for me, brother? He's smelling something. He's definitely smelling something right now. But no, the other little advice that Ruby got was to be kind to the assistant directors. Yeah, butter them up. I knew immediately because, like, of course, me personally, like, I'm seeing that little shot of her coming over and patting his head. I'm like, oh, God, girl. Doki doki. She's so gorgeous. Like, oh, you get me in the heart. You get me in the doki dokis. But yeah, the entire time she's, like, doing all this stuff to help him out and everything and butter him up. And he's just like, wait, this up-and-coming idol that's just coming to TV, why is she suddenly interested in me? Does she like the gloomy types? Am I her type? I'm like, oh, no, I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going. Please don't have the wrong impression. He had that little thought there, but he seems pretty level-headed, so I don't know that he'll get too crazy with this, but I'm assuming with the writing, they're probably setting up Shun to be probably somebody that, you know, makes a hit. This is going to be probably a massive train wreck coming up, and Ruby's going to help him, and he's going to come out on top at the end. It's not going to look pretty. He's going to be crashing and burning. She's going to have to try to fix it, and through that process, he's probably going to hit something big. And I think this will be sort of his breakout, hopefully. Not really breakout, but definitely kind of step him up there. But yeah, during that whole scene with Aqua, we did get a little mention about the fact that this current director, he's somebody that used to be a part of some big flagship TV station, and apparently he messed up, and he kind of moved to this company itself, and seems like he's still got that old mindset. And I really do think that kind of plays out with the whole scene where they're setting up to do the cosplay stuff, and it has, you know, Shun really kind of struggling over the situation. There's a lot of emphasis in this one as sort of the changing of the landscape of entertainment in Japan. The idea that, yes, a lot of kids these days, they don't watch TV. They're not watching TV broadcasts. Its viewership has plummeted. Yes, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you have declining birth rates as well. So, yeah, you do have television that used to be this colossal thing. It's starting to lose a lot of its steam. And unfortunately, the side effect of all this stuff is that while they used to have a lot of money going into the TV broadcast, it used to be massively profitable. People were making a lot of money. Now with it kind of declining, they're still trying to do the same things. They just don't have all that budget anymore. And thus you have less staff, but yet you're still kind of expected to do the same stuff. And he, as an AD, which ADs are pretty much like the gophers for the director, he has to do everything. Everything that they can't hire somebody to do, everything that the director wants him to do, scrub the toilet, whatever it is, go on site, get some information, gather some people, all of it they have to do. It's not a pretty role. It's very exploited just because you're not the big dog, but you're not the little dog. You're kind of everything that the director doesn't want to do and doesn't want to find somebody to do it, you're doing it. Because the hope there, just like everything else in these industries, the hope there is that one day, hopefully, I'll be that director. That's where Shun's at right now. He's in that role of like, do everything that's expected of you, be the dog, until eventually, hopefully one day, they'll pull you forward and say, he does a really incredible job. I can't do this right now, but he can probably pull it off. Let him do it. He does everything for me. I trust him. It's that kind of thing. That's really the hope there that Shun would probably have. But unfortunately, until then, dude's overworked. I like how they got a little bit in the idea of like, I heard that people like sleep, on the chairs lined up. Yeah, HR won't let us do that anymore. There's a lot of regulations that are out now. Things have really changed in, Japan, but yeah, people still do it. There was a little moment of like, Ruby's like, yeah, it doesn't look like that to me because there's like all the drinks there and everything, the little energy drinks. I'm like, yeah, it's all hush hush. Like when he goes home, he's still working. You just don't report it. It's the unfortunate reality. But anyways, yes, the director comes to Shun about a new show they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing it based on cosplay, but not just any cosplay. He doesn't want any random cosplayer. He wants, because they're online, this is sort of that mentality of somebody that's been in broadcast for so long, and now they get this little opportunity to go online, and they're just like, well, anything happens online, right? So let's just exploit that. Let's just get a bunch of cosplayers that, do a lot of really risque stuff. Ones that are behind paywalls, the ones that sell their skin in order to get attention. Let's get them on here, and let's get the deets from them. Because all of them want attention, right? They're just attention grabbers, so they want to be on TV, right? I love how it like completely gets shot down, because Shun goes off and starts to DM all these people, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to be on there. Like a bunch of people are like, I don't want to have anything to do with TV. I don't want to be exposed on television. I have anonymity online. I can be here and not be bothered by people. People don't know where I'm at. They don't, know that I Photoshop my stuff all the time. No, I'm part of this group. I can't do that. It's just like immediately shut down, even though this guy thinks that it's on a major broadcast, a major, streaming service. These people are going to clamor to get on here. It's such an old mindset. This director has such an old TV broadcast mindset that they're the top dogs. And unfortunately, the landscape has changed so much. And I love how Akasaka is really kind of emphasizing that with this whole thing. Because of this sort of high and mighty attitude this director has, he doesn't realize how much things have changed. Thankfully, it looks like Shun, based on the fact that, again, he's kind of helping his sister out, he has much more of a broader mindset when it comes to how this stuff works and how the industry itself has changed. And unfortunately, he's stuck in the old world, even though it seems like he knows a lot about the new world, which I think that will be very beneficial if later on in the story, Shun does become sort of a major role in helping Ruby or whatever with whatever she has to do. He's going to have much better, broader mindset as to how the entertainment industry has sort of evolved. But yeah, anyways, Ruby ends up helping him out. And this is where we get to the part where I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. She goes to Minami. Shun needs cosplayers, so she goes to Minami to ask her if she wants to be a cosplayer for this show. And immediately, Minami's like, look, I wear costumes, but it's like gravure stuff, pinup stuff. It's not like, I'm doing actual cosplay. That's a different thing there. So I think it would kind of be seen as lying. Again, her statement right there immediately grabbed my attention. She knows, and I think this is already flagging this is not going to end well. She knows that there's a different culture when it comes to cosplay. Some people are not going to be happy with somebody, acting like they're a cosplayer, and somebody that is in an industry that can easily be criticized. There's nothing wrong with gravure models. There's nothing wrong with what she does, being a pinup model, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can question the fact of her age itself, but this is something that's not like a shameful thing to do. It's something that is a business that people do. People like attractive people, and it's what it sells. The problem is that when people need something to criticize somebody for, like acting like a cosplayer, it's an easy target to shame somebody for. People will act like it's the worst thing in the world suddenly because, ew, I don't like you. And that's where I think that's going to end up going. If this ends up blowing up, if she gets on there and people start criticizing her, I hate to think about how that's going to turn out. I hurt because this girl just seems way too delicate. She seems way too delicate, very naive. We got a little sense of how naive she was in the previous season with somebody kind of hitting on her. So I'm kind of concerned about how this is going to turn out. But again, Ruby's like, look, I want to work with you and this could be really fun. This is really good for your future. And she agrees with it. It scares me. It really does scare me. Even Minami is kind of pointing out, I thought that she didn't like things like this, lying, that kind of stuff. She's already seeing like a lot of change in Ruby, and it sucks about how much Ruby is so dedicated to getting bigger. It feels like she's not thinking about how that might damage people around her. I need Minami to help the AD, so the AD, trusts me more, and she's not realizing she could impact Minami's future. Like, this could literally end Minami's career if people see her lying like this, and they call it out. But yeah, our next cosplayer that we end up finding is Shun's sister. She's so cute. I'm sorry. The whole cat ear hoodie thing is always super cute. But yes, apparently his sister used to cosplay a bunch, and apparently he got her into doing VTubing instead of exposing herself online. He decided to get her into VTubing when it was getting big, and yes, now that it's boomed, she's doing very good. It seems like she has 300,000 subscribers. She's doing very good. But yeah, she's apparently a VTuber, and he's like, oh, you used to cosplay. Could you help me out? She's like, no, I can't do that. People will know me by my voice. I can't do that. Well, I have your old account from cosplaying, and I see that you're still doing cosplay, and you've been bad-mouthing me, so you could do this, and I'll forgive you. He's super mean. Again, everything about this is lining up to just not work out, and she's just like, I don't want to do this, and he's forcing her into it. I'm like, it's not going to turn out well, is it? It's not going to turn out well, is it? It's flagging it. Poor girl, though. I love that whole shot, though. She's there, stretching out her leg in front of the camera, and he's like, I thought something was wrong with her, my shut-in sister. But yeah, that's when we get into pretty much the first big hiccup in the whole process of making this cosplay show, and that's the fact that, yeah, while Shun is talking to Ruby about, did we get enough people? Yeah, it looks like, Minami's agency has accepted it. We got plenty of people now. Oh, cool. What am I cosplaying? Oh, yeah, you're going to be cosplaying, Tokyo Blade. Oh, wow, cool. You got approval for that? That's going to be very difficult to get. I heard that the writer's such a stickler that they typically don't get approvals for that. Yeah, I should probably check it. Hey, boss, did you get the approval for Tokyo Blade? Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, did we get it? Nope, we didn't get it. Again, this goes back to that whole thing of how this guy doesn't see how he doesn't have power. I think the big problem with this director is that he feels like he still has power. He used to be a part of this big flagship TV station, and he got everything he wanted. As the biggest company in the entertainment industry, he had everything given to him. Oh, you want approvals for this? You call those people up and they go, oh, we can be on that network? Hell yeah, that's the biggest network out there. But he's not big anymore. Television isn't that big anymore. He just assumes that he gets it. And he even makes the biggest mistake, which is the idea, this is something that actually happened here recently, so it's kind of funny to have this happen. I know this was probably written before that happened. The whole situation with Dandadan. Yeah, it would be way before then. We had this recent situation with Dandadan. What did Aniplex do? Over there in Japan, when they were making the show Dandadan, they thought, oh, let's just do X Japan. Let's do a spoof of X Japan. They'll love it. They assumed they could do it. And yes, X Japan was part of Sony. Like, it's part of their record labels. So the assumption there is that they got approvals. And so this is the same exact thing. Well, we have a streaming site that streams that anime. I'll just call up that anime department of the streaming site, and they'll probably say, yeah, you got it. It's not the same group. It's like you have like 3 steps of approval here. The anime department of the streaming service doesn't have the rights to it. They have the rights to stream it. They don't have the rights to have you do cosplay of it. You have to contact the company that owns the property. He just assumes that he can get it. Because again, he's used to having everything given to him with this big TV broadcast network. So it kind of blows up in his face very quickly. Now, here's the great thing, because I could hear all the cosplayers out there just screaming at their television. The idea of this guy just goes, just have them wear something else. Just have them make something that's close to Tokyo Blade and wear that instead. Every cosplayer out there is probably like, what? You don't just throw it together. Like, again, it's just completely lack of knowledge about how much work is put into cosplay to think that you could just throw something together. I was like, you're stupid. You're so stupid. But yeah, Shun's like just completely panicking. Best Emoto is just like, don't worry, let me see if I can find something for Ruby, because you can't just have Ruby wear anything. Hopefully their cosplay looks well. Again, that sucks. That just sucks to put that much stuff on the guy. And again, the expectations that you just have to make miracles happen. Again, that's something that's just put on this guy as this, assistant director. Make everything happen, basically. And then in the end, the sucky thing is, of course, the director gets all the credit. That's the sad reality that always comes from this. This Shun guy is working his butt off, trying to find anybody, making deals, trying to throw anything possible together. It's affecting everybody around him. And in the end, if it actually works out, the director takes the credit. And if it doesn't work out, the director fires the AD and blames him. It's just blah all around. It's just blah around. We'll see if it turns out, though. I hope. But again, I'm very, overall, I'm scared for Minami. I think I'm mostly scared for Minami, how this is going to turn out. But we'll see next week or potentially the following week how this is all going to turn out, depending on how fast they get to this whole story arc. Did I miss anything? I think I pretty much covered. Oh yeah, we had one more other scene. I literally left it in my notes to pass by. We'll come back later. I almost forgot about it. The scene with Aqua and Akane. I love my girl Akane, but damn, it feels bad. It feels bad. Even Akane right here. We had last episode, Memcho was pointing this out. Now we have in this episode, Akane's pointing it out. You have Akane, and she's stuck in the rain. Aqua comes by, gives her an umbrella. She climbs under his umbrella instead. But as they're walking, Akane pointing out that, yeah, she knows full well that Aqua likes Kana. I knew that he was attracted to Kana. And she knows potentially the reason why he's distancing himself from Kana, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to enjoy this. He takes care of me. He looks after me. He never leaves my message unread. He's doing everything to be a proper boyfriend. And I know there's a reason why he's distancing himself from Kana. And it kind of bugs me that he's, focusing so much on it, because that means that he's always thinking about Kana. I caught that part. I'm like, oh, that's true. That's true. Even though he's not with Kana, he's avoiding Kana. But the fact that he's avoiding Kana so well, that means that he's always wondering where Kana is. But yeah, it's his own little way of kind of fixing things. He's trying hard to be a proper boyfriend. It sucks. Again, it's kind of that little bit of jealousy in there as well, which I can understand. Akane's like, look, I hate the fact that he's always thinking about Kana. But he's also doing it for me, so it's okay. If Aqua were to be around Kana all the time, Akane would be jealous. The fact that Aqua is actively trying to stay away from Kana, she's jealous. It's like, you can't win. You can't win with this girl. You can't win, right? It's a big oof. It's a big oof. Little scary though at the end there when she finally, gets to her house and Aqua goes to leave. He's really hot. I know that all the girls are swarming over him. If he cheats on me, I'm gonna kill him. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. In the end, they end up turning Akane into a yandere that tries to kill Aqua because eventually he leaves Akane. Again, it's once again hitting heavy on the idea that she knows the lie. She knows this relationship's a lie. Now, she is technically for the idea of turning that lie into truth by just being together, but she's acknowledged that this is a lie. This has always been a lie. But a lie that it seems like he's doing a proper job of trying to at least not lie to her and be a boyfriend properly, not cheat on her or anything. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it. Really good episode. As usual, I really do appreciate how well Akasaka does in sort of explaining different industries. He went through, production, groups and what they do. I don't think the explanations around there were that deep, which is, fine, I guess, but you can getting into VTubing and all that kind of stuff, explaining how VTubing itself has kind of boomed a bit. We might get into a little bit more of the cosplay stuff next episode. He just does a really good job. It's not always just surface level. A lot of it kind of does a pretty good job of kind of explaining how things are important, showing how the industry itself is sort of changing, showing how the old guard is sort of flopping around, trying to make something happen. Again, it's a lot of what I really do like about this series is how well he portrays the industry, it changing, and how things work or don't work. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the episode. Really long recording. For those that stuck around, thank you for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you found it entertaining. But until next time, until next week, y'all take care.